Alright friends, Dominaria United, opening a few packs here. Let's see what we've got. First half of the video, first two-thirds of the video, we're going to open the pack, see what's in there. Last third of the video, we're going to see if any of these slot into any of my decks or if I'm going to have to build something to get them in there. First pack, here we go. Art card is that guy. Okay, stained glass island, not shiny but still cool. Phyrexian Rager, 2/2 Phyrexian Horror for 3. When it ETBs, you draw a card and lose a life. Vanquisher's Axe. It's artifact equipment for 1. Equip creature gets +2/+0, and the equip cost is 2. Goblin Picker, 2/2 Goblin for 2. Can pay 1, tap it, discard a card to draw a card. Colossal Growth, to instant for 2 with a kicker of 1. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. If it was kicked, it gets +4/+4 and gains trample until end of turn. Seems like that's the mode you probably want to use. Shalai's Acolyte, it's a 3/4 angel for 5 with a kicker of 2. Oh, that's 7. She got flying. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Strength of the Coalition, to instant for 1 with a kicker of 3. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until the turn. If this spell was kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Wingmantle Chaplain's a 0/3 human cleric for 4 with Defender. When it ETBs, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying for each creature with Defender you control. Whenever another creature with Defender ETBs, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Okay? It's a little pricey, but it's got a lot of things going on. Nael Avizoa Aeronaut, stained glass version. It's a 2/4 legendary elf scout for 4 with flying. With Domain, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Put up to 1 of them on top of your library, and the rest on the bottom in a random order. If there are 5 basic land types among lands you control, draw a card. Lagmos, Hand of Hatred. So 1/3 legendary human shaman for 3 at the beginning of combat on your turn. Create a 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. Can tap it, search your library for a card, and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if 5 or more creatures die this turn. It's a lot of dead creatures. Oh, here we go. Sarah Paragon's a 3/4 angel for 4 with flying. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, it gains when this permanent is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. Exile it, and you gain 2 life. That's pretty tasty. Oh, we've got Squee. We've got a shiny Squee. It's a 2/2 legendary goblin noble for 3 with haste. When it attacks, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. You may cast Squee from your graveyard by paying 4 and exiling 4 other cards from your graveyard rather than paying its mana cost. Interesting, but I like that finish. It's nice. And we get a soldier token. Okay, moving on to pack number 2. Oh, that one opened nicely. There's going to be some good stuff in here. And our art card is that angel. And we get a shiny-ish forest. Okay. G2 Amplifiers, a 1/2 human wizard for 1 with a kicker of 3 when it ETBs. If it was kicked, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gains +2/+0 until end of turn. Okay. Mountain Forest, gotta love the dual lands. Deathbloom Gardener is a 1/1 elf druid for 3 with Death Touch and a mana dork for any color. Not bad. Shore Up, it's an instant for 1. Target creature you control gains +1/+1 and gains hexproof until turn. Untap it. That's not too shabby. Rulik Mon's Warren Chief, it's a 3/3 goblin for 4 with menace. When it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield tapped. If you didn't put a card on onto the battlefield this way, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Cool. Ertai's Scorn is an instant for 3. This spell costs 1 less to cast. If an opponent casts 2 or more spells this turn, counter target spell. It's an interesting counter spell. Lagmos Hand of Hatred, 1/3 legendary human shaman for 3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. We just had this one. Cult Conscript, it's a 2/1 skeleton warrior for 1. It ETB's tap. That sucks. You can pay 2 to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if a non-skeleton creature dies. That's a lot going on. Okay, Rulik Mon's War, we just had this one also, but this one is in the stained glass frame. Vodalian Mindslinger, 2/2, Merfolk Wizard for 3 with a kicker of 2 and or 2. Okay. And or. Why and or? Okay. It ETBs with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each time it was kicked. So it's multi-kicker-ish with a limit of just those 2. Yeah. When it ETBs, gain control of target creature with power less than Vodalian Mindslinger's power for as long as you control Vodalian Mindslinger. It steals yo shit. I like it. Okay, Leaf Crown Visionary, double rare pack here. It's a 1/1 elf druid for 2. Other elves you control get +1/+1. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. That's pretty fucking sweet. And we got a Phyrexian token creature as our token. And going into the last pack, pack 3 of 3 here. Art card. That's that guy with all the hands. Island. Automated Librarians. A 3/2 construct for 3. When DTBs, scry 2. It's not too shabby. Timely Interference. If it's a target creature, it's an instant for 1 with a kicker of 2. Target creature gets -1/-0 until the turn. If this spell is kicked, that creature blocks this turn if able. Draw a card. Meteorite, artifact for 5. When it ETBs, it deals 2 damage to any target. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. It's expensive as mana rock. Shield Wall Sentinel, it's a 1/3 golem for 4. With Defender, when it ETBs, you may search your library for a creature card with Defender, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Balduvian Berserker is a 1/3 core Berserker for 3 with Enlist. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Elias Eelcore Sadistic Pilgrim is a 2/2 legendary Phyrexian core cleric for 2 with Death Touch. Whenever another creature ETBs into your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Rona's Vortex, instant for 1 with a kicker of 3. Return target creature or planeswalker you don't control to its owner's hand. If this spell was kicked, put that permanent on the bottom of its owner's library instead. Queen Olenna of Rudak. It's a star legendary elf noble for 3. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. If 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a 1/1 white soldier creature token are created instead. Zar Ojanen, Scion of Ephraim. It's a 4/4 legendary cat warrior for 5 domain. When it becomes tapped, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. And here we go, Shieldred the Apocalypse, worst apocalypse ever, but still 4/5 legendary Phyrexian Praetor for 4 with Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Kicks failed. I shall not. And we got a shiny crap forest here. Painland, love the Painlands. Soldier is our token. All right. We got some stuff to look through here. When we come back, we're going to see what I'm going to keep. Well, I'm going to keep them all, but what I'm going to use in decks and what I think is cool. See you in just a little bit. Okay, friends. So there were a few other cards in these packs that I might find usable, but these 3 packs, they had some real heat coming out of them. So starting with Squee, Dubious Monarch, he's a 2/2 for 3 with haste. He's a goblin, which is of note. I do have a Krenko deck that goes off and goes nuts pretty easily. The more goblins are on field, goes real wide. Whenever he attacks, he creates another one that's tapped and attacking with him. You can play him out of the graveyard if he gets taken out. So I'm real happy with this squee here. That's going to fit nicely into my Krenko deck. Leaf Crown Visionary. It's a 1/1 that gives my other elves +1/+1. Whenever I cast an elf spell, I can pay a green to draw a card. I do really want to build an elf ball deck. This is definitely going to go into that. Yeah, I'm going to have some good times with that one. Sarah Paragon is a 3/4 with flying for 4, and you can cast stuff out of your graveyard. That's pretty fucking rad. So that's going in. I do have a White Weenies Angel-ish build that might go in there. Maybe I'll scrap that and do something new with it. And Shieldred the Apocalypse. Yes, 1,000 times yes. A 5/4 with Death Touch. Whenever I draw a card, I gain 2 life. I have a Dina deck that I have had a lot of fun with. And anytime I gain a life, all of my opponents lose a life. So whenever I draw a card, I gain 2, all of my opponents lose 1. Whenever they draw a card, they lose 2 life. The gain and drain is just printed all over this. So I'm real happy with these 3 packs. I'm getting close to the end of the box here, so it'll be just a couple more videos before we're done. But so far, pretty stoked. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. See you guys next time.